Greetings, beautiful people, and welcome to another session of Let's Discuss with Miss Mickey Mac. And I've got a beautiful lady that you will see here that I'm going to interview today. I will just let her introduce herself.
My name is Beverley Williams.
Is that all you're going to say about yourself, Beverly?
Well, I'm being spoken to today with the wonderful Makeda. I've watched her previous shows, and I definitely agree with what she's doing in regards to discussing retirement. This is an opportunity that I'm really happy to take on board.
Oh, I'm so glad. So glad. Well, let's just get straight into it. So, what were you working as before you decided to retire, Bev?
Before I decided to retire, Makeda, I was over 20 years in the social work field of social work. I done what they know as safeguarding children. So I was in charge of children from unborn babies to the age of up to 21 years old. So just the word social worker, as anybody who's out there knows, is a very, very stressful, but also very rewarding job.
Definitely, I could imagine that it is very rewarding, but I could imagine the amount of stress as well, you know. So, it's been in the news, social workers and things like that, and so I can imagine the stress. So, um, what made you decide to retire?
Well, if you remember back in my mother's days, I don't know for your mum, but in my mother's days, retirement age was 60. And I'd always said to myself, I did not wish to work beyond 60. It just was not in my DNA. And it certainly was not in my long-term plan. And it wasn't on my vision board to work beyond 60. So what I did was I worked and made preparation. And I say preparation, I'm talking financial preparation, so that with God's will, I was able to finish at the age of 60. So it was an age thing for me. I just wasn't willing to work beyond 60.
Right, okay. I didn't really, even I know it's that I'm interviewing you, but I didn't really plan when I was going to retire as such. And I would have actually continued, but like yourself, was in a very stressful situation as well, and that's what made me decide that my health, I definitely had to think about my health and the impact that a stressful job was having on it. So I decided to retire. So when you retired, did you well, as you said, you prepared yourself financially. So finance wasn't one of those things for you. How about having all this time now, time on your hands, and maybe lack of structure?
Well, it's interesting you should ask that because I'm always very busy. And anybody out there that knows me, I'm not one to sit down and let the grass grow under my feet. As I said, I was in a very busy, fast lane, 6 days a week job. It certainly was no 9 to 5. However, I loved my job and I put everything into it. But I find myself very busy. I do a lot of voluntary work. I help out where I can. I do a lot of exercising, and I don't mean in the gym. I've never been a gym person. I do a lot of walking. I've got a beautiful environment that I walk around. And I go down the beach with friends. I meet up with friends on social events. I attend church on a regular basis. So sometimes I wonder now, if I had to work, I don't know if I'd find the time to work now. So boredom is just not part of my lifestyle at all. I am far from being bored. So yeah, I find things to do. I always find things to do. 7 days a week, there's always something to do, and that doesn't include housework.
Cooking, maybe?
Housework is not on it.
Or does cooking come under housework?
Cooking comes with the housework. That's not on my agenda either.
Oh, right, okay. So, you've said to us a lot of things that you're doing. So you've got lots of other people as well that you connect with that have retired or in the same position as yourself.
Yeah, I'm quite fortunate because where I'm at, there's a lot of people and friends who I've made, friends I didn't know before, but I've now made since I've retired. So I've got a lot of people around me at what I call my little village. And yeah, and I communicate with them. We have our own WhatsApp group going. We meet up once a week. on the beach, which is really nice. And yeah, so I've got a little community of my own going, and it's just fun. It's just fun, fun, fun. And I'd encourage anybody out there, if you're thinking of retirement, don't let society make you believe you've got to work till you're 66. As long as you address your finances, and this goes out to the younger people, Makita, those in their 40s or younger, but mainly 40s, this is the time that youth is on your side. Just start
Yes,
thinking,
definitely.
where do I want to see myself in 10 years' time,
Yes.
and work towards it. For me, if you don't have a plan, you're just like you're like a hamster on a treadmill, just going round and round and round with no end goal. Have a
Yes.
vision board. A vision board is very useful. I had a
Oh,
little
vision
vision board,
board is
and that
very,
vision board came with me where I am now. So I still have my vision board, but I've reached my goal. And
yes,
I thank God, first and foremost, I thank God that He's helped me get where I am today. And
yes,
also because I've had to work really hard to get where I am. And that's what it's all about, is working hard now, putting into it now, and then you reap the benefit when you're 60, or whenever you
yes.
feel financially able to retire, because it is all about finances.
It is about finances, being able to finance yourself and look after yourself. And yes, I mean, I do believe, I mean, I did mention in one of my previous interviews that I think we really need to start educating the young people and
Absolutely.
encouraging them to do things. I myself, I found that I didn't actually leave the UK. I thought the UK was where it was all at. And I didn't leave the UK until I went to work as a teacher abroad. And then you see, well, there's a whole world out there. So you really
Absolutely.
have to stay in a position that you don't want to be in. As you said, planning is key. And also having a vision board. Having a vision board, as you said, because I do a vision board as well. And you do have to, even if you've set goals, you set short-term goals, but your long-term goals, even if you think, well, I don't know how I'm going to achieve this, because I'm sure maybe Beverly, maybe when you started, did you have that thing where you think, well, I don't know how I'm going to achieve this, but
All the time. All
yes,
the time. It's not easy. Preparing for retirement, it has its ups and downs.
mm,
And there was times, I mean, 5, 10 years before I retired, like, oh my God, am I ever going to reach there? It's going to, I've got a long way to go, because I used to check all my finances because I had a mortgage, like many of us do. And I used to, every month, I don't ask me why, because it's not like it's going to go down any quicker. But every month I would address them. How far's it gone down? How much more have I got left? And that was just something I did, thinking, okay, we're getting somewhere. So, but yeah, it wasn't easy, Makita. It was a long time in the making. I mean, I started this plan 16 years ago.
right.
So it wasn't just overnight. It was 16 years of planning and preparing, and
Exactly.
also preparing my children, because if you've got children, you have to prepare them from an early offset, so that they're preparing themselves to know that this is what mommy plans to do. So I think that's also important, to let your family know what your plans are, so they can also prepare themselves mentally.
Yes, definitely, definitely.
And I think that's also key.
I think it's a really good message for the young people. Really, even if they don't want to leave the country, but just to plan so they know how they're going to do it. And going back to what you said
Absolutely.
about the vision board, is to put, even if it seems unrealistic, put it on there. And you have to believe in it yourself. You don't just put it on there and think, oh, I don't know if this, I doubt this is going to happen. You have to believe it's going to happen and just really focus on that. And as you said, that you go to church, you're a Christian, I take it. And so for
Yes.
people who have a belief, you do have to exercise that belief and trust in the Almighty to take you through.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
That's also key. Faith was also key. Played a key part in my planning as well.
yeah,
Prayer, fasting, everything. But yeah, having faith was a major thing for me.
yes, yes. But I'm hoping that this is really insightful for people who are watching, because I've interviewed other people as well, and other people have had different stories. Your story again, it's different. Some of the questions that I was going to ask you, I don't even really need to ask you, because you already said to us how you've prepared yourself financially, which is really good. You've thought about this. You've been thinking about this for the past 16 years. So I think that is a really positive message to leave people with, that they really, especially those who are 40 or 40 plus, those of us
Yeah,
who are already at this stage, then we just have to work with what we have, some people have prepared, some people haven't, but you know, we have to find ourselves happy in the situation wherever we're at, you know.
I think if I can just interact, I think one of the things as well for me, Makita, that moved me, that pushed me on was, and I'm sure you may have heard some really tragic stories of friends that we know personally, people that we know that's been making these plans to go to retire. And for whatever reason, health forbids them to either to do what they plan to do, or many of them have passed away. So
Yeah.
when I used to hear these horror stories, in, you know, when I say horror stories, I mean, you say these stories in like a
Oh, Beverly, I think your sound has dropped out. Yeah, because I can't hear you. Can you unmute? Oh,
Yes, sorry about that. Am I back?
yes, you're back. You're back. Yes, you were talking
Sorry
about
about that.
stories.
No
When
need
you
to
hear these
apologize.
stories,
So what I was saying was when you hear these stories, it pushes you further to reach that goal. And that's what done it for me as well.
yes,
I just wanted
definitely.
to have some quality time, what I
Yeah,
call my me time. I just need to have that quality time because many of us has worked from
that's
teenagers.
right.
And
Yes,
when we work 3/4 of our life has been working, we've got to have something we can say is our time. If we stayed with the government, stayed working till 66, 67, and God forbid they put the age up even further, you
yes.
know, we might just work until we die, really. And that was not in my DNA at all. So those are the other reasons why I decided to finish at 60. And I give God all the glory and all the thanks for that.
Definitely all the time, all the time. Amen to that. So I do think maybe, you know, we're going to wrap up now, but I do think, you know, a message, a takeaway maybe for people who are watching is to really plan, think about your finances, think about what you're spending, because sometimes we do spend a lot and maybe some of that spending is not necessary. So it's just to
Absolutely.
readdress your financial situation, see what you can really live on, because it is, I mean, I think, I don't know for you, but for the people that I've, one of the ladies that I interviewed, and for myself, definitely, it's been rethinking our finances, rethinking how we see.
Absolutely.
And yes, you know, we
Absolutely.
are getting less money, but we're managing. So I think
But
that's
we meant, yeah,
a good,
absolutely. I 101% agree with you and your previous guest. You know, when I was working, I earned good money, but now I've retired. I just rejuggle my finances of what I'm getting in, which is my works pension, and
mhm,
you manage because you don't need to buy all the things that you had to buy that society made you think you needed. And
that's
also, you know, again, I thank God that I'm debt free. I have no mortgage now. So therefore, I don't need that large income. So you can manage on it. But it's about not going on shopping sprees anymore and doing retail shopping therapy. You just
yeah.
got to know how to manage and
But
know
you
where
can
your
window shop. You
priorities
can
are.
window shop.
You can window shop, yeah.
You
But,
can
but
window
having
shop.
said that, my kid, there's not much windows left out there anyway. All the
Well,
shops are going.
you have got a point. You have got a point. We can't even window shop. Then,
You
you
can't window shop much. It's all online now.
yes. Well, browse online. Well, Beverly, it's been wonderful talking to you. It's really nice to see you, and you're looking so well and so chilled,
Thank you.
so relaxed.
So chilled back.
It's
But thank you so much. And
retirement
thank you
is
for the
definitely,
opportunity. I've really enjoyed it.
yes. Thank you so, so much. Okay, thank you, folks, for tuning in. I hope you enjoyed that, and I will see you on Monday with my thoughts and shorts and my walks as well. All the best. You have a blessed evening. Bye for now. Bye, Bev.
Bye.